Hello and welcome, everyone that's going to be here now or in the future. This is Leandra Costa, and we are going to have a quickie with business. And today, my guest is Sylvia Puentes. And thank you, Instagram. You're telling my followers that I am live. That's so cool. Hello, Natalia. How are you? welcome to this live. And today I have Sylvia Puentes coming up. Sylvia is somewhere beautiful, I'm sure. We will learn where she is and what she's been doing around the world. I'm so glad we are here. Let's give some more time and see when Sylvia joins us. Hi. How are you, Natalia? Thank you for being here, you and me. We are starting this live. How does it get any better? I started this series, Quickie with Business, the end of last year, just so we could talk to people and bring it up and talk about what they've been creating with their business and what it's coming up with it. So yeah. What else is possible with ease with businesses and so on. So my guest Sylvia Puentes should be here very soon. I know that she was going around and getting to her flat. Hi Swanti, how are you? You are in the right place. This is Quickie with Business with Leandra Costa and Sylvia Puentes. And Sylvia is hello. How are you all today and in the future? Let's see what Sylvia says. If she's going to find me here on Instagram. Germany, yay! Hi, Sylvia! Sylvia, she found me! Yes! Hi, Sylvia! View request. So, I don't see Sylvia yet. Let's see if she's coming. Hey, Swanting, Germany. Good to have you here. Hi, Sylvia!
We did it.
We
Never
did
give up,
it!
never
No!
quit. Do I need a headset? Is this
You
gonna be
you
okay?
sound clear. Yes.
Sweet. Yay.
How are you? I love your hair, looking pretty.
In Mexico City, I get to see Carlos.
Oh
Pretty
yes,
sweet.
Carlos, of course, amazing Carlos. Well, Sylvia, thank you for joining us today. So happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to see you.
I know. Seems like to be a long time now.
Yes.
So I started this series, Quickie with Business, last year, like maybe end of last year. Just like we can talk about business and, we are both joint business facilitators and just get a little bit into how is business for you, Sylvia. So I have a question.
Yes. Go.
What was your very first business? And following up from that, how did it change it from then to now?
Well, it's an interesting story because I might have been 6 or 7, and my very first business was a lemonade stand.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I realized at that age is that I really liked money. And I saw people hide money, hoard money, and it didn't make sense to me. I thought, like, why not have money to enjoy, even at that age? And I've never acknowledged it that way, but I remember one of my aunts having a box of a bunch of coins put in her closet. I'm all, why have it put away? Like it's so anyway. So part of my lemonade stand I got really creative,
Mhm.
and it lasted for a short while. But that I would
Nice.
say was my first business. But no one talked to me about business. No one. It was just I would like some money. How can I get some money? So, but from there was other businesses that I chose, but it never was from the point of view I'm going to create a business. It was like I enjoy this. And
Mhm.
when my son was, I was pregnant actually when I started. So I started a scrapbooking business. I had friends that did it, and they're like, "Well, do you want to join?" I was like, okay, I knew I wanted a scrapbook. And then
What is a
after,
scrapbook,
it's
Sylvia? What is
when
it?
it's when you cut up pictures and put in them in an album. So you're
Ah,
preserving memories and you get to use stickers and color paper, but it's all made with quality, which maintains your photos
uh-huh.
just longer. And I recently came across them in California as I was cleaning out my place, and they're beautiful. I looked at other photos that weren't in the album. They're starting to lose their color. They're just, but in the album, they're gorgeous. And I was like, wow, I'm so glad I chose that. But what I didn't realize about that choice in that business is that I didn't do it out of, oh, I'm going to make money. I did it from the joy of it.
Mm-hmm.
And months into that business, people were asking me, what are you doing, Sylvia? I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, you have the highest sales. I'm like, I didn't,
I'm having fun
but
creating.
exactly that. And I think that's the key that I know now as a facilitator is that when there is this joy in your creations and what you're choosing, money is like a byproduct. It's like the result of your joy. It's the result of that enthusiasm. And so, yeah, so I did that for, a couple of years, another business, same thing, did it because I saw possibilities working with kids, teachers, and parents. And during the economic downturn,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember one of my sisters said, she said, Sylvia, how are you doing? She was really concerned. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, well, like, like people don't have extra money for services like yours. I'm like, I was puzzled and I was like, well, fine, I have a waiting list. You know,
That's great.
so it's not until now that I could
Yeah.
look back and see like, well, what were those elements?
Mm.
And with that business, it was again the tools that I was bringing to families and kids and then engaging with, the teachers in a way that, wow, where can we contribute most to the child? And so I'm like, wait, there is something I know about business,
Yeah.
but it doesn't match what they tell you it should be. Because
Oh, no.
I had I had other people are like, "Where's your business plan?" and da da da, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds awful."
And
And
where's
sometimes it's
your dream?
required.
You should not be so happy. You're in business.
Where's your website? Where are your business card? I didn't have any of that then.
Yeah.
So it's like I always, I like to ask people questions around this area because there's so many people waiting to create until they have everything lined up. And I say, for me, the chaos that I enjoy creating with is like go and then add the pieces.
Yeah.
So in
Yeah.
a short, yeah,
Yeah. It's a lot of this reality is kind of waiting for something to come up and then you start. Whereas you just started from the fun of it, wasn't it?
yes. And that's even my access business. I never, one, thought I'd be a facilitator. Two, it took me a while to acknowledge I had a business. And three, I'm still adding pieces,
Yeah. Yeah.
Website, I think it's just about ready to, be
To
live and
launch.
out and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, different things. Yeah.
And still you're facilitating around the world, and not only that, you are a regional for access consciousness, so you are traveling with classes around the world and getting that together. And with that, Sylvia, is that something that when you started with your business, because I know you've been a facilitator for a few years now, is that
Yeah.
something when you started with your business that you're like, that, apart from of course the joy and everything, or is that something that's like, oh yeah, I knew it, I know now I'm in the right place?
I like again, I mean, that's probably, one of the elements about creation and living for me. Like I jumped, I'm like, joy of business. And I chose it to become a facilitator more for what I saw was available. Like hearing Simone and her story, I thought, wow, there's something there. And I think in the first year, I didn't facilitate, because I still had the judgments like, I don't know anything about business. What do I know? And it's so interesting because this is the gift. When I finally facilitated a class, I was like, oh my God, like I've been missing out. I've been missing out gifting this to people, the manual, the questions. And then I started to look at different parts of business that I'm either refusing or not acknowledging or elements I can add. So it's always evolving. It's not an end product. And I think that's the part, like if we choose our life and are living that way, like it's not, you have it figured out, you go. It's just take another choice, another step. And but no, I didn't know I'd be a facilitator. I mean, that I'd facilitate. And it's almost like as a certified facilitator, many of these classes you get to take, even if you don't plan to become, a facilitator. And I think that's the
Facilitator.
case for the upcoming training, right? And
Yeah.
so, but the tools are incredible because you can apply them to your own
Yeah.
business as a certified facilitator. But the way I see it even beyond that, it's like the tools for your
For your
life.
life.
Like
Exactly.
it,
Yeah.
and one of the things that I realized, part of, I think, what makes it easy for me to travel, work with Access, is that I don't see it separate. I don't see, oh, I'm going to do business. Stop. Time to take a break. Now I'm going to do my life.
I love that.
Stop, take a break. Gonna go have dinner. It's like, it's all together. So it really is living for me. And
Yeah.
that, I think, is part of the gift of Joy of Business, is like, what if you don't have to separate from your business or categorize it for a certain time of your day, and yet have it be part of your living and joy?
That's so cool. Thank you for that. And because I was going to, you gave us already so many questions, but what would be like one tool or one question you'd give, to us, to everyone that's here or you will be watching in the future that you see, wow, this really would be a
I
contribution.
think one question would be, what is easy for you and fun for you? Like, explore that. Have one thing come up, just leave it in your awareness, put a phone reminder and ask yourself, and then observe you. Observe and notice where you have that energy, that enthusiasm. Because at first I didn't know. It's not like I mean, we disregard so much of that. And oftentimes what you're judged for is oftentimes your strength. So the level of energy I have is judged, and the number of places I can be all at once is judged. It's like, Sylvia, stop. I'm all, stop what?
What?
So it's like, what have people judged you about that if you didn't judge yourself for that, you could actually see the strength of that?
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's a great question. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And she was just like, judge me, give me the money, money come, money come.
And I'm so grateful. It's Dane years ago. He said, he goes, Sylvia, real serious, right? And he's all, creation for you is easy, right? And I'm all, yeah. Creation for you is fun. I'm all, yeah. He goes, then have more fun. I was like, wait a moment. Is this a trick question? Because in business, when you talk about business with people, oftentimes it's so serious and significant,
Yeah.
right? You start looking at money, accounting, teams, like all the different elements. And it's like, okay, if you didn't take you serious and if you didn't take your business serious, what would you add? How could you play and interact with your business in a way that, if you're up at 3 in the morning, it'd be like, all right, let's create. Or, so those elements, and I think oftentimes it's the elements of joy, the elements of gratitude that we don't tend to value and actually notice how much they contribute to everything else.
Yeah, it's like really being you in business and what will create more for you and for
Exactly.
your business. I love that. The amount of times I ping Sylvia like, oh, it's my 3 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up. I was doing something. I'm going to go to bed and sleep. It's like, okay. But it's that lightness. It's like, oh, good, I'm here. And then I just sleep again and then wake up and create more. So
But
that's so cool.
again, but again, I don't have a judgment about sleep.
Uh-huh.
Or so I don't have a point of view that needs to be so many hours, that it's going to impact my health. So this is where we start to explore. It's like, what points of views, what have we decided is real and significant about business, of how it should be done, where it should be done, that keeps us from having so much more available. So, last night I slept a good solid 7 hours. It's like, wow, body, okay, right? The
Yeah.
day before I might have slept 3, right? So it's like, the willingness to have that whatever that is for you, like if you're not sleeping or if you find yourself, well, so many different areas,
Mm.
but the key point is, like, if we don't judge ourselves, we actually allow ourselves to have choice. So if
Yes.
you're judging anything about you, your body, the way you do business, if you're comparing yourself to someone else in the way they do business, like, what if you started to ask, wow, if I was doing business, what would I choose? Like, well, what would be fun for me? Then you get to discover the weird and wacky ways that work for you.
I love that. That's so great. It does work, guys.
It does.
Great.
It does. And this is where then money follows joy.
Yeah.
And there's an energy like a couple months ago, I was looking at my 2022 and I was like, wait a moment. Let me look at these numbers again. That is one area that I could tidy up a little more, but at the end I was going, where and how did that much get created? Wow. And yet I look at my life and the ease of my movement through the world. It makes sense, but yet it wasn't an effort and a struggle. So there is this part of opening ourselves up to more of the ease of creation that we innately be.
Yeah.
If we
and
take those layers off. Yeah.
Yeah. And back to what you said, you don't separate. Now I'm traveling, now I'm eating, now I'm doing this. You kind of put everything together, and that's how your life is your business is your life, right?
Well, that was, I've heard that quote from Simone Melissa's, for a long, long time. And there was one year I had gone to New Zealand for a wedding and I had brought my son, and then I was in Australia and he was like, let's go to the beach. I'm all, well, I'm going to go work. He said, Mom, we're in Australia. And I'm all like, yeah. And, the ease part of it is that I create in this way. So I'm going to go work at a coffee shop. You go surfing. And there was that moment where I was in the pool, there in the coffee shop going, oh, is this what it means? Your life is your business and your business is your life. Like I was experiencing that living and working and not separated from them. I'm all like, well, if this is it, then I'm not doing too bad. Like something's working for me, what works for me. But, and that's when I started to notice like, okay, there is a level of ease. And with the incredible access consciousness tools, I'm all like, the more we get to clear of the lies, of the stories we've been told, of who we're trying to copy, mimic because we thought they were successful. It's like, it really is about asking yourself questions, or the facilitator asking you, what's true for you?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that. And so everybody knows you are having a Business Done Different class coming up. Is that this weekend?
Tomorrow. We start tomorrow.
Guys, still time. Go have a look. Check on Sylvia Puentes and Business Done Different. What a gift. What an amazing class that is, isn't it, Sylvia?
And I want to give a shout out to Simone and her team. Thank you, Leandra. Because it's like they have created, we have this incredible manual. And one of the things that I appreciate about the layout of the manual is that we have the tools, and then we have exercises, like really to apply them. And then we have the practical stuff. We have Excel sheets we get to play with and really look at the logistics of what it takes to run a business. So it's like it has this incredible wealth of what you can use, refer to. And this is the gift of having also the manual. It's like certain things might apply to where you're at now in business. Great. But then you have it as a resource, the class recordings, the clearings, the manual. And this, I mean, for me, it's like, wow, every time I facilitate this class, it expands more in my own business. And that willingness to continue to change and grow. So even the success that people have had, it's like, are you willing to receive even more?
More.
So that, yes, I'm excited to facilitate. We start tomorrow, and we'll do it for the next 4 days, live here in Mexico City. It's going to be in English, and we have Spanish translation, Portuguese, and Czech.
Oh,
of all
my
languages.
goodness, how does it get any better? And we've been talking because we have a chat with all of the facilitators, Joy Business, and we've been talking. I'm guessing this is the weekend where we have most of the BDD classes out there, facilitated by different facilitators all around the world. So, like, what changes can we create? I love that so much.
I do. So the willingness to join any of the classes and be willing to receive from them all and be the greedy guts we really be.
Mic drop.
Truly, the gift of actually, receiving from everything.
Yes.
it's a true gift. And this is where it's like if you didn't have to get business right or perfect, what would you explore? I've been asking another question recently, and it's, I start to see people creating things that have never existed before. It's like, what is it that I know? And what is it that I can create that's never been created before? Because we
Wow. Yeah.
each have, uh, I don't know, a different energy and a possibility that there's a way you can bring something out in the world. So what is that for you?
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. And let's see, how much more fun am I willing to have? How much more
Yes.
money am I willing to receive? So that's the adventure worth living for me.
That's so cool. Well, thank you so much, Sylvia, for coming here
Yeah,
and, give you your time and talk to us. And, it's amazing.
thank you.
I'm so glad I know you. And I'm going to meet you soon somewhere.
Yes, give you another hug. I sure hope so. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. And you guys still have time. Go up on the website, Access Consciousness, or on my bio link here on Facebook, and you'll see it for the Business Done Different upcoming class. So thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much, Leandra.
Big hug,
Ciao,
Sylvia. Take care.
everybody.
Bye. Ciao. Thank you,
Ciao,
everyone.
ciao.